Hi everyone. This is the first video of our Advent videos that will carry us through the season of Advent. These videos are intended to help us engage with the deeper significance of Advent so that our lives might actually be transformed by the coming of Jesus into our world. These videos will be brief. They will feature a reflection and a scripture and sometimes a prayer at the end. But the idea is to share these on a daily basis as we journey through Advent, to focus our lives together on the significance of Christ's coming. Today we begin with John, the Gospel of John, chapter 1. John chapter 1 says, "The true light, which gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him. Yet the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him." Makes me wonder as we celebrate Advent and Christmas, how often the coming of God in Jesus Christ is actually overlooked. We don't even see it because maybe we're not looking for it, or because we're so preoccupied with other things that we miss it. By far, the most important thing about Advent is this inbreaking of God into our world, the greatest event in the course of human history. It's the miracle of God's visit onto our planet, to be among us, that God would be among us. And even most Christians who confess Jesus as Lord and believe in forgiveness of sins still can miss the deep significance of Advent, the weight of what's going on. And a lot of times that has to do perhaps with over-familiarity with it. In our familiarity with Christmas, every year coming and going, the celebration of Advent, if we even think about Advent, sometimes the familiarity causes a sort of indifference in us. It's the same thing year after year, the same traditions, the same patterns, the same habits. Or maybe it's a mix of the familiarity and the commercialization of Christmas, where we as a part of our culture get caught up in the buying of presents, the giving of gifts, the cards, the celebrations, the gathering with friends. And all of these things are good. They create an atmosphere of goodwill, of joy, of celebration. But these things are not ends in themselves. These things are celebrations because we are remembering that God has come among us. And so I wonder, as we celebrate Advent, how often we miss the humble beginnings of Christ's presence. That Jesus was born to a teenage girl in a stable. That the world around didn't have the time or the room for his coming. That maybe as his life went on, he was betrayed, murdered, left alone by the world he came to save. But the fact is that God still came among us, and so many missed it. And it makes me wonder if we'll miss it this year, or if we'll notice the meekness and the humbleness amidst all of the noise, as Dr. Seuss puts it. Will we notice the meek, humble coming of God into our midst this year? It takes intentionality, it takes time, it takes purpose. So remember the coming of Christ into this world this Advent. And unlike the Gospel of John, where the world was not aware, the world did not notice and did not receive him, make time and intentionality to receive God into your life this Advent, to let him be the focus of all you do, of all you say, of all you celebrate. Because he is the true light that comes to our world. We'll see you tomorrow.